go. You go. Please let this be good.
Hi, Tyria, and welcome to Guild Chat. I'm your host, Ruby. Thank you all for joining us today.
Hi.
I'm super excited about today's show because I know a lot of you have had questions about how skiffs and fishing work, and we are here today to show you answers to hopefully all of those questions, if not most of them. With me in the studio today is Nick Hernandez. Hey, Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick Hernandez. Nice to meet you, everybody.
And joining me in game are our senior environment artist Tracy West, game designer John Hargrove, and senior gameplay engineer Paul Quinn. So thank you all three for joining us in game.
Group event, hide and seek.
Today.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right in after two quick things before we get started. End of Dragons is a work in progress. You know it's not done. We're still working on it. We are playing in a development environment today. So you're going to see things like temporary text and placeholder icons and placeholder NPCs here and there.
Yeah, sure.
Just pardon our dust. We're working to make End of Dragons awesome for you. And also, there are still a lot of things that we don't want to spoil for you. So we are going to be hiding a few things from you here and there. If it looks like we're hiding something, that's because we are.
Oh, okay.
But we have some more surprises
that's very
to share with you
honest.
down the line.
I like that.
Purpose.
It's on purpose. We're crafty like that.
Yeah, actually, something additional that I'd like to note is that in a lot of the promotional material that we've been having,
I have to see what they're hiding or what it looks like or what could be
getting to kind of exist in that space.
at the place where they're hiding stuff.
You know, very very tiny portion. So yeah, you know, it's just really neat to be able to play around in it.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. Mark, we might be having some audio issues.
From me?
No, just John is letting me know. So I'm going to have, Mark is looking into that while we get started fishing.
Yeah.
Nick, why
Let's
don't
go.
you start us off with how you begin fishing, how you get your first fishing gear, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, very similar to the way you get raptors within Path of Fire. Within this expansion, we wanted to have fishing be something that you could unlock pretty much right off the bat. So as you progress through the initial parts of the story within the first chapter, at some point, once you've completed specific instances, you're going to just be able to unlock fishing right off the bat. And it'll allow you to, you know, it'll reward you with your first fishing rod, you know, and a starting like lure as an example, to make sure you can just go out into the world and start whenever you want, just toss it in there and get to fishing. I think that, you know, they're of course going to be like the base level ones, but something to note is that with fishing rods specifically, they do not have any durability, which is different to other kind of resource node gathering tools that you would see within the game.
So
like
they can
the
break.
picks or the sickle. So with fishing rods specifically, the fishing rod will not break.
will not.
We have charges for the lures and the bait, but that's because they have different tiers and things like that, which we'll see a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so
So the
why don't
lure is the
we
actual
first,
harvesting
let's go
tool,
through the
basically.
Fishing mastery line, so you all can see what the fishing masteries are, and you'll have a little bit of context for what we talk about as we're fishing.
Yeah.
The first one in the fishing mastery line that you're going to unlock is Fishing Hole Master, and that gives you faster catches and triple XP at fishing holes.
Wow, we
The
get
second
actually
one is Angler Sense,
experience.
which gives you which unlocks a skill that detects nearby fishing holes. I'm going to show you
Like
on
a
my
scan
map.
ability,
This
I
detects
see.
nearby fishing holes and lights them up on the map so you can find.
Very cool,
where the
makes it
fishing holes
easier
are.
to
You can
find.
see that right down here.
Oh, nice.
In front of Nick. There are shorefish, 471 away. The third one is fishing on a full tank. This gives you plus 50 fishing power if you are nourished. Fishing power is a new stat that is going to come in with this mastery line.
Fishing power.
It grants a higher chance of catching rare fish and makes fishing a little
Oh
easier
yeah,
in
sure.
difficult regions.
With higher fishing power, you
The
catch
fourth one
better
is
fish, obviously.
Master
Yeah.
Caster. That increases your maximum fishing range. And the final one is Local Legend. Fishmongers and fishing merchants in Cantha will give you exclusive selections. With that said, let's go fishing. Fishing nodes like this one that we are standing in front of now have the best chance of giving good rewards and the highest rarity fish. You can fish anywhere in the game world that there is water, though. Fishing is not only in End of Dragons, it's going to be throughout the game world,
Mhm.
and that means also in the water in your guild halls.
Yeah, I
Let's
mentioned that
get
in the
started.
last
Nick,
stream.
why don't you run us through how to fish?
For sure. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, very similar to other areas. You want to make sure that you can equip things like your rod and your lures and your bait.
Okay.
And you can just do that right from your inventory. But the way that you actually access your rod is a bit different. So, we introduced the novelties button. I'm like trying to figure out what the right name is for it, but button on the bottom right under the mount selection. But now we have another button under.
Yeah, that's what we thought. That's a
weapon
fishing rod.
select,
There you go.
That is specifically for fishing and summoning your skiff. So what happens
yeah.
is when you click on the start fishing one, it'll actually give you your fishing rod and give you the ability to utilize skills. In this case, right now, we have cast line and, as Ruby mentioned before,
Anti-scan ability. Yes, there we go.
Whenever you choose to cast line, it will give you this little bobber that you'll see, and it just kind of shows you where you'll be able to put it. As you can see, on terrain, you won't be able to put it, so it turns red.
Sure,
and in
makes
the
sense.
water, it will turn the appropriate color blue. Once you actually put it out there, it will do a quick animation, and what you'll see is that the bob will show up. As you can see mine over here, it's currently sitting there, and whenever it splashes with the water ripples, that's when you know that there is a fish on the line. So I'm going to wait for mine, and then you click on one, and what happens is that then this
Oh,
UI appears,
nice.
where there is a bar that fills up to success. There is this yellow thing called the sweet spot, and then this little green thing we call the fish marker. So what happens is you can use your 2 and 3 buttons to keep the sweet spot on the fish marker. And what happens
Nice.
is as you continue to keep doing that, it will build
Nice.
up
I
this
like
bar,
that.
which is your success bar.
That was basically what I was hoping for. You need to do something actively to successfully fish.
That you will get the fish, and you'll have succeeded in fishing. And that's pretty much the overarching way of being able to do it. Just as other crafting
I like that.
things,
You cannot just
within
fish.
this game, with these fish, you will actually be able to use them as crafting.
Question is if you can
things like
fail
that.
at this, or it just
Materials.
takes
What happens
longer.
is whenever you click on the fish after you've caught it, you will fillet the fish, and you will get crafting materials that then you can use to cook, and also like trade into fishing NPCs and things like that.
I'm sorry, I'm struggling over
No,
here.
you're good. It can be a little tricky sometimes.
I like to hear that. Don't make it too easy. That's good.
That's pretty much it, right?
We don't need fishing boats.
You've got your fishing mini game, and then you've got the ability to actually do things with the fish once you've caught them.
All right, fish are also part of collections. There are fishing collections all around the world. These are repeatable collections. The first time you finish one of the fishing collection, it will give you achievement points and another reward that we're not going to tell you about quite yet. And then subsequent completions will give you more of that reward. You'll find out eventually. It's not just that we're never going to tell you. I do have a couple of fishing collections to share.
Yeah, well then, yeah, on.
Today, Xing Jie Fisher is one of obviously
24 fishes, that's not too bad, yeah.
And I wanted to share Shiver Peaks Fisher is another one that's available.
Also 21,
I kind
nice.
of like this one because somebody, John, got a little punny with it. So you have fish in there like Lornar's bass and Beacon's perch. Those are, I just like puns. They're dumb and I love them.
There's nothing wrong with a good pun.
So we've been fishing from shore here, and I think I have fished this node out while you were talking, but that is not the only way to do it. You can
Oh, it's a
also
shared
fish from
node.
your
I
skiff.
see.
So let's talk about that. Nick, do you want to walk us through?
That's gonna be
how you
interesting. So
purchase skiff?
overfishing is very easy.
Contrary to how you get fishing, with the skiffs themselves, it's more like how you would get other mounts within Path of Fire, like the skimmer or the jackal. They had hearts that you would utilize the jackal or the skimmer in, like gruntable versions. And once you've completed it, you would have the ability to unlock the skimmer or the jackal. With this expansion, you do the exact same thing with skiffs. So there is a heart specifically within Xing Jie that once you enter and complete the heart, you will gain access to your own skiff. Then you can utilize across the board. Something to note though is that
That's
we're
pretty
not
early,
showing
though.
that
I
part
think that would be
today,
the starting
because
zone.
of the fact that it does have narrative tie-ins, and we want to make sure that we don't spoil those things for you all. Yeah.
All right, so once you have your skiff, you can summon it one of two ways. We're going to show you. The first one is from shore, and this one is kind of fun because you can set the direction of how and where you
Ooh.
want your skiff to be pointing when you get it in the water. And you can just see as I'm turning it, you have the directional arrows showing you. So once you have it where you want it, I don't want to run over Nick.
It's okay, I'm backing
with
up.
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's all
like,
good.
you also don't want to drop a boat on your friend's head. It's not going to hurt them, but it is kind of rude. So
Yeah,
I'm
don't
gonna
do
try to
that.
avoid
That's
that.
not
So once
polite.
you've got that set, drop it in the water.
Nice. That's
And
a cool
one quick
skin.
thing, this is the Xingje Dragon Boat Skiff skin. If you have pre-purchased the deluxe or ultimate editions of End of Dragons,
Yeah, that's cool. I like
this
that.
is what you're getting. It's a little different than the picture because I played fun with dye. You can also summon it from the water wherever you are, and Nick is going to do that.
Yeah.
It just pops up under you.
Mine's not as pretty as yours, but I think it has some charm.
What
I
are these
kind of love it.
skills?
John was talking earlier about how he made his look like it was covered in algae by the dye that he used. So
That's a lot
I
of
like this
skills for a
variety.
boat.
I'm having fun with my big aqua-colored theme boat. All right, so let's go through the skiff masteries real quick. So again, you have context and you know what all you're going to be unlocking. And
Yes.
you understand what you're looking at when
Let's
we
hear
go
it.
through this. First one that you will unlock for skiffs is full throttle. This gives you the ability to go faster in your skiff.
Yes.
Next one is depth charges, which is the one that I super like. If you are just trying to get somewhere, enemies approach, you can drop a depth charge and sink them to get them out of the way. Speed boost gives you a short burst of speed. Fishing party is cool. While you're on your skiff, you and your party receive additional fishing power.
That's what you
equal to
want,
the
fishing
number of
power
catches
to
from
catch
fishing
more
nodes that you make.
better fishes, yes.
And finally, the last one is reinforced hull. This gives plus 5,000 HP to your skiff.
Your hit
Somebody
points.
has called target on me, and I'm very afraid. So
It's
let's
not
all
I.
hop into the skiff. I am the captain.
So you can attack
I
skiffs,
ran this
or
around earlier,
is that
so this should be interesting.
in case monsters attack your skiff?
Let's go
I
over
guess
more
monsters.
details and do some fishing. Nick, why don't you walk us through what else is going on here? Everybody is very excited with me behind the wheel.
Yes, everyone's sitting, waiting.
So basically, what you're seeing right now is that our entire party is on the skiff. With these skiffs, the max amount of individuals that you can actually have on them is going to be 5, which is your entire
Makes sense with
size,
body, yeah.
including the driver. What you'll probably notice, though,
Movement
from my
is nice.
perspective, is that there's this giant rainbow of different icons here. The reason for that is that anybody who is a passenger in the boat actually has the ability to have different emotes that they can use as they're going.
They have to something to do while someone is driving.
Have the ability to do some fun stuff while they're sitting on the boat being driven around. But there is also a functional reason for it as well, which is the turbo mastery that Ruby had mentioned earlier, where it's basically like a nitrous boost for your skiff. Whenever your party members utilize those emote skills, what it does is it completely refills
Oh,
the stamina bar that gets
that
utilized
is
with
cool.
which means that you can just keep on like pumping the turbo boost as much as you want.
If we want to look at mine just real quick, we can show what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right, turbo. I need people to emote.
Yes.
Thank you.
Also, as Ruby mentioned, these icons are not. These icons
But you
are not
need
final,
at
but
least
they
one
look very
person,
similar
I
right
guess.
now compared to like on your bar versus my bar, but they all are different skills.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. We can also, so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm actually going to dismount and be left to drown.
No.
And the reason for that is so that way, if you, what we can showcase is that players actually have the ability to swap seats whenever there's one that's open.
Oh,
if there
sure,
are
yeah.
Open seats, you won't be able to swap around, but when there is an
Because
open
you don't want to
seat,
sit in the front
can
and
kind
get
of move
all the
around,
water
like,
splashes on you.
Want to sit in the front, want to sit in the back, etc., etc. Another thing that is really interesting about skiffs specifically is that you actually have the ability to anchor your skiff, which is something that's a bit newer with this expansion, because what that does is it actually generates party-specific collision within any part of the world.
Oh, that
What
is
means
cool.
that
So you
when
have to
the owner
anchor,
anchors their skiff,
and then you
players
can
actually
move on the
run around
boat.
on it like it's just a normal
I mean, kind
platform.
of makes sense because you would do that
What's
on an actual boat.
also really cool about this is that it's
No.
a bit troll-proof in that sense, because like if there's anybody that's not in your party, they don't have the ability to like hop onto the boat. They don't have the ability to run their boats into yours, etc., etc.
Oh, nice.
There's also like
I like
some
that. I was
other
worried
functional
about
reasoning
that.
for why we
People
have it based
stacking
around your
boats
party,
and blocking
and
people and
has
like
to do with
all
the
that
tie-in to
stuff.
fishing, more specifically. So we wanted to
That
kind
would
of
be a
blend these
problem.
two,
See what is crowded.
features together and as best as we could. And the way that we did that was by having fishing parties, right? So once your skiff is anchored, you have the ability to fish off of the sides, and whenever somebody successfully fishes from a node, they will get a buff called Fish Party, if I'm not mistaken.
I am fishing right now to try to get that up and running. So
Yeah, I will.
if I can stop struggling with my fishing pole long enough, we can
I'm sure that one of us will succeed.
probably.
Yeah.
Yay, I got it.
Okay,
All
so
right.
as you can see in the bottom right, it's called Fishing Party, and basically the way that Fishing Party works is that it increases the fishing power that you have
And that's for your whole
per
team.
stack of the
Oh,
buff.
yeah,
It's like a
nice.
3 times multiplier. So for each one, I think it's like multiplying whatever your base value was by 3.
Wow, you can
And
farm a lot of
currently,
experience with that.
The max stack size is like 99 stacks. So you and your party can just like go from node to node, get up a huge amount, and just be absolute fishing legends, which is pretty fantastic. I think another
Spirit
thing to note
Shard
actually about this
Farm
is that,
initiated, I
look,
think.
so this one's called Shorefish, and there's a Shorefish node. And that's because like we wanted to make sure that it wasn't just specifically you had to fish from skiffs. So like you just saw me cheat a little bit there, but there are some nodes like shorefish nodes which you can fish from without needing to utilize your skiff. You can just go to wherever there is land, wherever there is a thing, and then toss the line into there. There are also offshore nodes, and those ones specifically are going to need you to utilize your skiff.
Yeah, of course, because you have to stand somewhere.
Just, like in the middle of the ocean, right in the middle of deep water. What's also really
Interesting.
about those things is the fact
Middle of the
that,
ocean.
each one has different kinds of fish that you can catch from it. So the shore nodes have different, fish that you can acquire than the offshore nodes. And what that allows for is just a bit more diversity in each area.
Sorry, I was like, hey, let's have a boat race. And
okay.
I'm sorry, I've gone completely off script, but whatever.
So something else to note is that if you can be a little trolly with your friends, because so Tracy just parked her boat, and because it's party-specific collision, if Ruby tries to drive into her boat, what happens is that
I can't.
It runs into it, right? So you do have the ability to be a little goofy with your friends, right? And if they're going like full turbo speed, you can, if you're in the same party, just quickly park yours in front of them and then like have them crash or like ramp up.
I see.
And it allows for some really interesting experiences.
Just your friends that you're partied with.
Yeah, I think, but just your friends that you're partied with. I think that's pretty much it for all of the extra details for now, though.
I
think I got through
terrible
all
things.
of them.
Yeah. Did we talk about when you raise the anchor, everybody has to sit down because safety?
We did not. Yeah.
Safety first, of course.
Specifically because of the fact that you
Why is that even a question?
All within a specific boat. We wanted to try to remove as many edge case situations and edge case bugs as possible. So because of that, once the boat gets unanchored, it checks to see how many players are within the area that are part of the party, and then it sits them down. Right? It's just like, everybody, sit down. We're driving. We're moving.
Hands and arms inside the boat.
Yeah.
Seatbelts.
Okay, so you don't
I do
have to
call out
sit down
one
actively.
Just little thing
I
online,
see.
and you can see on my screen, Mark, if we can look at mine, there is a cool little animation deal. Let me turn my boat around. Where if you turn, my character is pulling the rudder and she's leaning.
Yes, of
and
course,
it's
she's
just a
steering
fun
the
little
boat.
Animation thing that I appreciate you all on the dev team thought about. All right, I think we have fished that node out. I'm just checking to see if there's another one nearby.
What you could do is you could use the mastery skill.
The Angler sense. Yeah, that's what I
Oh
was
yeah,
doing.
or the
Don't look at my screen right now.
the
because
dev command.
Hey, all right, I found another fishing node, and I'm gonna go there.
What's really cool though is that with Angler Sense, I think John wanted us to also mention this as well, is that it's kind of, I think, if I remember correctly, one of the first masteries that actually has that skill show up in multiple areas. You can use it while you have your fishing rod out, but you can also use it from the skiff itself. So there's a bit of dual usage there whenever you have it unlocked. But Angler Sense, I think specifically, you only need to unlock it from the fishing line, and then you'll get that skill in both areas.
I have to say I really like the...
Alright, so that is the basics of Skiffs.
I'll just wait to what she says now.
I'm excited to see everybody's party boats and how they're tooling around, emoting, and how people use fishing in skiffs. Make your skiff races. I want to see. I'm just watching to see what Nick's doing.
Yeah, actually, if we want to showcase this real quick as well. So what's really interesting as well is that if we all anchor our skiffs, why does it say I'm moving? Oh, it's going too close to Tracy. 1 second.
Thunderstorm here.
Or am I too close to you?
I don't know, but
stop moving. Why?
We have like the dance party boat over here in Tracy's.
I'm not moving. Okay, so you know, as Ruby mentioned.
Oh, that was a cool animation. Oh, that disappeared.
Happens.
It's very true.
There we go. Okay, so like, what's really cool is that you could basically like in maps build bridges, barges, right? You can like we can put all of our boats right next to each other and like have like a little boat barge party. In fact, let me actually try to see if I can get my.
Oh, when they're.
Okay.
Thread the needle, as they say.
So you can make a big party basically actually, on boats.
Did we talk about the different speeds?
You just have to get a lot of people in here.
We mentioned within the mastery area.
We did within the mastery
area.
Oh,
within a party, of course, yeah. So you can summon 5 skiffs, but it's just for 5 people then.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm actually but as seen, like you can park all the boats next to each other, run across them. Like you can create these party specific platforms. It's really interesting. But what's really cool,
going for a ride.
Come on. Yeah, is that there are 3 speed settings, and the 3rd one gets unlocked with the mastery line. But you've got
slow cruise, moderate,
and you've got your moderate clip, which increases the speed a little bit, right? And then you've got your like full throttle, and full throttle is just like, hey, we're
okay. Why is there
going fast? We're zooming.
Several speeds? Is it just to enjoy the cruise, or does it make sense when you turn around corners?
Some dynamic control.
I'm over here like spam cheering to keep your energy bar full.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can like as you see, Ruby's using her emotes, and it's just emote.
Yeah, with multiple party members, you can chain emote just for an endless turbo boost.
And it's all a grand time, honestly.
All right, so that okay, still not as bad as what I did earlier. I just like tried to drive right up onto an island before. All right, so I think that covers fishing skiffs, how you get them, all of the mastery.
If you want to be fast, I think you can just go full speed around every corner. I think that's not an issue.
Good stuff. I hope that answered
They're turning really well.
We are excited to see what all you do with these new features in End of Dragons. That's your rundown of fishing and skiffs in Guild Chat. Thank you, Nick, for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Paul, John, and Tracy.
That was it already, okay.
Game. And thanks to all of you for watching today. Before we go, I have a couple of other things. Do not forget that we still have more things coming in September.
Yes, of course.
The DirectX 11
Do we get a teaser?
Begins on September 21st, and the first Wavwa Alliance beta starts on September 24th. Also on September 21st is the start of the second End of Dragons Elite Specialization beta event.
Yes.
As before, the event is open to all of you with an account, with a Guild Wars 2 account in good standing. And join us right here next Friday on the 17th on Guild Chat for a preview of that Elite Specialization beta event. For now, we'll leave you with a little preview, and I will see
another
you next
teaser,
week
nice.
on the 17th.
Oh, what a...
Have a good week.
Oh, that's an elementalist. Nice. So, Hammer Elementalist for next week confirmed. I like that. I have to say, I really like how they thought this through. Let's talk about the skiffs first. That's a party only thing. When you're not in the party and you're not anchored, you cannot like troll people, you cannot run into other people's skiffs, You cannot block them. You cannot. I mean, you can still be like inside of them, and if you have like a bigger skin, that might be a little bit of annoying. But you cannot push people around and like block them from going somewhere and stuff like that. I really like that. It makes sense with the anchor mechanic. So you have to seat while you're moving. People could fall off and stuff. It would be super annoying. And whoever steering the boat has full control over this. Can force people into seats. And just drives his boat. It's I think it's kinda okay that you can like bump into other boats when they're anchored. Like nothing is happening to the boat that is anchored. That's cool. It's just the other boat goes like above and not even entirely above. It's just like it bumps up, and that's basically it. Like that's not too bad. I'm really happy with the fishing mechanic, I have to say. I was hoping that they make this kind of a mini game. When they started putting out like static fishing, it looked like the World of Warcraft fishing, and basically, and I was so worried that they would just click on the small puddle there, and like that's it. But luckily, that is not the case, and they really thought this through. And it's a mini game, and you have to move your bar, and I think the location and whatever the bar is doing is very random. I hope it's not the same like every time. It's just you have to actually watch this, play this. It's not like a huge skill thing, so that's cool. Like everyone can do that. But I really hope it's preventing things like fishing bots and stuff. Like the economy would go to shit, I think, when there would be like fishing bots all over the place. Also, fish wouldn't be worth anything, basically, when there are just so many, because everyone is like using fishing bots and stuff, or not everyone, but too many people. So I'm very happy about that. I have to say, well, I'd like to play it in for real, of course. I think we're not gonna get this during the beta events. I think we're only getting the specializations and the mounts. Well, the mount, the turtle. So we'll have to wait till February until we can actually play that. But yeah, that looked really good. That was basically what I was hoping for. Also, it didn't take too long to get a fish, basically. What was it, like half a minute? Not even, maybe. And it also depends, like if how good you are with steering there, and yeah. I don't know what else to say. It was really promising. It was everything I was hoping for. I didn't really have much expectations for the Skiffs, I have to say. But I love to see that they thought this through. That was basically what I was expecting. They always take systems from somewhere and make it better. And I think they've done it again, as far as we can tell now.